What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen, and joining me this week, Anna Mia's back. What's
Hi
up, Anna Mia?
everyone. Hey Troy.
What's going on? What's going on? How's things been for you since last time we saw you? It was like a month ago you were on the show, right? I believe so.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Everything's been going here in the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing some camping and going outdoors, which has been kind of
Oh,
nice.
nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Actually did a little camping myself over here on the East Coast, which has been a while. So yeah, let me tell you, inflatable mattresses are your friends.
Oh my God, I got an inflatable couch.
Oh wow, nice. You're
Because we
living
were doing,
luxurious.
well, because we like drove up, right? So I
Uh,
could use the like inflator thing in the car. So I just brought like a
uh,
whole inflatable couch. Yeah,
okay, all
that's
right.
me
You know what?
camping.
I mean, you know what? Hey, look. You know what? At a certain age, I feel like you just don't want to rough it anymore. It's okay.
No, glamping is totally an okay thing.
Right. I actually had a conversation with my friends who I used to go to conventions with, and I ended up going camping with them. And I was like, yeah, the days of us going to cons and like all of us cramming into a hotel room, that's over. We're never doing
Yeah,
that again.
no,
Like,
no.
there comes a point where it has to stop, and I've reached that point. So, what's up, Christopher Allen? How's it going, man? Oh, yeah, Emmanuel. Nice to meet you. Thank
Yay.
you. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for joining us. So, this is a part of the show. Before we dive into all the comic book goodness that's landing at your local comic shop today, this is definitely the part of the show where we just kind of talk a little bit about things we saw this week. And you saw something I was curious about, and I wanted to know your hot take on it. What did you think of Free Guy?
I saw Free Guy and it was so good. Okay, first, like Ryan Reynolds is amazing. Like all of his movies are hilarious. He's great. But like just the whole ensemble cast that they've
Hmm.
got is incredible. And then the cameos. I'm not even gonna say I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give anything away. Because the
Hmm.
whole movie I was just cracking up, and I got to see it with a group of friends that were like those loud people that like clap and like laugh real loud. But like we had a blast. It was hilarious. Highly
That's awesome.
recommend.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about it. Like, I don't know why. I always have this moment with Ryan Reynolds. Like, am I over Ryan Reynolds or am I like still a fan? And I always kind of circle back to like, no, I'm still a fan. Like, this stuff is
Yeah.
pretty funny, pretty clever. But yeah, like I was on the fence about this, and it's on HBO Max, right?
I don't know. I
Okay.
went and saw it in the theater.
Oh wow, look at
Yeah,
you.
I ventured to a theater. That's only the second time I have it.
Okay.
It's Free Guy and A Quiet Place too. Those are the only two that I ventured
Okay.
out to go to the theaters. But definitely, I would recommend going and seeing Free Guy.
Okay, nice. I got the free guy emote in Fortnite. Okay,
Oh
cool.
no.
Actually, I guess it makes sense that it would be format for Fortnite. It would have a Fortnite add-on. No
Oh
HBO.
yeah.
No HBO. Are you saying down with HBO, or are you just saying it's not HBO?
No, I don't think it's on HBO.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a
I think
Fox
it's just
movie.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It is. That's right. It's a Fox movie because Deadpool also comes up from Fox, and I've heard things about this movie that I won't give away yet. But no, I'm glad this actually pretty cool. I haven't gotten a chance to see a lot of things, but I am going to go see Green Knight today, so I'm right there with you. I'm going to run over to the
Ooh,
movie theater
nice.
across the street, and that's my happy place, and I'm just going to go watch this. The sword and sorcery. Well, the sword and knights movie. I don't know if it's sorcery
Yeah.
involved just yet, but it should be pretty cool. All right, let's jump into what's at comic shop. So we got a lot of people jumping in here. That was Saturday Free Comedy. I know that raccoon guy. Hi, hey. I guess I should put these on screen. Kareem, how's it going, man?
Hey.
I'm not going to pretend to know how to pronounce that. I'm just going to say hi. How you doing? Hopefully, that's not a slur. Uh, what's this? I know that raccoon guy. I don't know that one. Green Knight. Okay, someone knows what I'm talking about. That's good. Yeah, I'm going to catch it later today. See a few people saying Free Comic Book Day was this Saturday. Damn, I missed it. Yeah, you did. It was this Saturday. Actually, some shops have some overstock sometimes that you still want to give away. So it doesn't hurt to ask, right? Like, you might as well just go on over there and see what's up. And then, worst case scenario, you go to a comic shop.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Speaking of comic shops, how about what's at comic shops? Mia's here. I'm here. We're going to give you guys our picks, and then we're going to show you more of what's available at your local comic shop this week. Let's go. All right, Mia, you're our special guest. So, what is your pick at your local comic shop this week?
All right. So I saw Eat the Rich, and just from like the cover art and the idea behind it, which is the unspeakable horrors lying in wait within the perfect facade of the idyllic lives of the 1%. So it's about class inequality and the systems that allow the wealthy to feed on the vulnerable people, but also there seems to be kind of this like almost zombie-ish kind of cannibal thing. I don't know where they're
Oh,
running with
okay.
it. This is all I know. I know
Huh.
it's a horror. It's about eat. It's called Eat the Rich. You know, they're talking about like I hope you're hungry. So I'm like, okay, where's this going? Are we gonna eat some rich people? Cool. All
Okay,
right, let's do
interesting.
it.
All right, yeah, no, I'm all for that. Actually, I didn't even occur to me that it actually might be literal, but
Yeah, the
I'm with
forks
that.
and everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm with that. I'm with that. Okay, yeah. Eat the Rich. Check that out. That's available at your local comic shop this week. I'm going to be a little bit different this week. I know I said I was going to give you guys some comics to share, but you know what? I couldn't pass this up. Every time I see these mini arcade things, I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that's just like, I want it. I got to have it, and they're affordable. It's way cheaper than buying a regular arcade game, right? But you get to have that experience, right? So Dream Gear, I've mentioned before, they had I think it was a Konami and Atari best of collection that they did a couple months back. But they also have a Street Fighter II Championship Edition. And let me tell you something, Mia. If there's one thing I love, it's Street Fighter. I'm not saying I'm good at it. I'm just saying that I love playing it. And so, yeah, they had this really cool 7.5 inch tall Street Fighter II Championship Edition micro players, what they're calling it. The screen's about 3.5 inches wide, and yeah, it's just cool. Like I currently have Pac-Man, a version of this for Pac-Man in my office right now, and I think I might have to add Street Fighter II to that collection. So,
I got the Mortal Kombat one actually.
oh,
So
you
when the
did?
Mortal Kombat movie came out,
Hmm.
they sent me like a care package, and
Oh,
inside
that's
was one
right.
of those like little like arcade machines with Mortal Kombat on it. They're so much fun.
Yeah,
It really
right,
is really kind of cool. It's like a little tabletop thing, you
right.
know. Need to like de-stress from work,
Hmm.
kick some butt real fast, get back to work.
Right. No, I mean, look, hey, like literally, that's exactly what it's good for.
And if
I'm
you're
totally
like in a
with you.
place that doesn't allow you to have like toys and video games, then
Hmm.
like no one has to know. It just looks like a
Yeah,
little like decorative piece.
there you go.
You know, no one has to know you can actually play with it
All right,
and
exactly. There you
waste a
go.
lot of time.
Exactly. I went to my friend's studio, which is actually, technically in his basement, right? And like yeah, he had an oversized Activision one like in the corner. And I'm like, yeah, why not? It's going for $60. It came out today. And like I said, believe me, I've looked up online, I've looked on eBay, I've looked on everywhere from like eBay to oh god, I can't remember the website's name right now. Etsy. Like a full size arcade cabinet is like easily over $1,000, like
Mm-hmm.
if you're lucky. So yeah, $60 for Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Yeah, I'm all over that. Fat kid heaven. I'm with it. All right, so those are our picks this week. Speaking of toys, right? Oh wait, hold on. Moon Knight 2 and Authority 3 are my pick for this
Ooh,
week. Oh,
nice.
nice, nice. Okay, cool. I'm with that. I'm actually looking forward to that Superman and the Authority book. I have not picked up the first two issues yet for my local comic shop, and I need to do that. Monkey Jeebus. I beat Seth Killian at SDCC playing Street Fighter 2. I beat him playing Street Fighter 4, so I played him again to prove he sucks. You know what? I don't even know who Seth Killian is, but I'm going to run with
I like how
it.
he like doubled down, like tripled down. He's like, no, I beat him once, then twice, and then again,
Just to prove a point.
just to prove that he's. I love it. I love it.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, look, humble brag, humble brag. I'm with it. Whatever.
Hey, we should all brag sometimes.
I see somebody asking about. Yeah, thank you, Johnny. I saw somebody asking about King Spawn. Hold on for a second, Edward, because we're going to show you a little bit more. We're going to talk about King Spawn later in the show today. So
But
definitely,
real quick, Tori, can we just point out that Sean Lewis is going to be at my local compost?
yeah,
That sounds like a crappy place to be.
you're right. It does. Yes, it does.
But tisk.
You can always count on Johnny for puns. Like he's always going to find them no matter what. Also, what world does like comic book store like autocorrect to compose? How often do you type compose, Edward? Inquiring minds want to know. Let us know in the comments. All
Well,
right,
my phone does some weird stuff, so
that's
I
fair.
don't.
I actually take
I get
autocorrect
it.
off.
Oh, you live dangerously.
I do, I do. But but so far it hasn't tripped me up, so I'm going to just run with it. Like, I feel like it makes me better at writing. Like, it forces me to kind of like think twice before I, get get myself in trouble.
Yeah, I need to be better at that.
I mean, look, it's not for everybody. I get it. Like, not everybody thinks of text messages as like, something that you write necessarily is just a reaction and then you move on with your day. All right, so let's take it over to Natasha real quick, right? I showed you guys the Street Fighter 2 game, right? And that's because your local comic shop, of course, has more than just comics, right? So here's Natasha, and she's going to show you what's inside the previews toy chest. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Brian Michael Bendis going to Dark Horse. Here we go.
Natasha here to give you a look inside the previous toy chest. Let's find out what's at comic shops this week. That's not all. Before heading to your local comic shop, be sure to check out PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases. There you'll find a complete rundown of everything a toy collector could possibly want.
All right, thank you, Natasha. And she said it once, but I will say it again. PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases. On our website last week, we had a little hiccup where the list of books didn't actually pop up in our newsletter. And so I got a lot of panicked emails from people like, how would I know what comics are coming out? And I'm like, well, just go to PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases. It's there every single month and every single week. And on top of that, it's what we link to on our newsletter anyway. So we'll definitely check it out. Make your life easier, So Mia, Ashton normally does the news segment this week, and she's not here. So would you be so kind to take over the news segment for us, please?
So much pressure. Okay. So the big news that I'm going to be talking about is going to be some news coming out with Brian Michael Bendis. So award-winning author Brian Michael Bendis is bringing his acclaimed line of creator-owned titles, Jinx World, to Dark Horse Comics. This new partnership will include existing collected works and many new projects, starting with the debut of the fiercely ambitious science fiction odyssey Joy Operations, which is coming to comic shops in November. It's described as Akira meets Inception and set 55 years in the future. Joy is a special agent at one of the corporate-owned cities at the center of modern society, Genando Trust. She fights wrongs for the trust and has become a legendary figure in some parts. But then one day, a voice pops into her head trying to get her to betray everything she's ever believed. So, sounds really awesome. I'm excited for it to come out. It'll be in shops November 7th and is just the start of the future Bendis releases with Dark Horse. So,
yeah.
Lots of things coming out.
No, for sure. And I want to reiterate this because I saw, of course, some people look. My Achilles heel is like on the show is like I have to at least acknowledge some of the rumors on the internet sometimes, right? I hear a lot of people saying Bendis is no longer at DC Comics. That is absolutely not the case. It's just he's taking his creator-owned stuff to Dark Horse, which he has done before. Like if you remember, Powers at one point was published by Image, and then it was published by Marvel, and now it's at Dark Horse. So there you go. But yeah, look forward to that. And actually, Powers is also part of that. I think Johnny didn't bring it up on screen, but Pearl is another series of his that was pre-existing. And now he's bringing that also to Dark Horse as well. And I think it's a good fit. I think, and of course, Michael Gaydos is coming with him and Michael Avon on those books because they are also co-creators on those books. So check that out. All right. I promised you guys earlier in the show that we were going to talk about Todd McFarlane, right? So I got something really cool for you. I'm going to let Todd McFarlane speak for me, or for himself, really. Johnny's got a video, and when we come back, I'll explain a little bit more about what it is and where you can get it. Let's go.
Hey everybody, Todd McFarlane here. Just want to give a shout out to all you great retailers that have supported us on our big launch of Kingspawn. As you guys sort of saw, it's one of the historic high sales, so I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm here at Diamond headquarters here in Baltimore, and what we're doing is taking your incentive covers here, the 1 and 250s, and I'm going to sign them all. I'm going to number them all sequentially, and then I'm going to put a number of the final, which is 1,697. That's how many will exist which is less than 20 a week since the pandemic has come. So there'd be my handwriting on here, it'd be my handwriting here for the number, and it'd be my handwriting for the tally. So everything that's on here will be mine. Nobody else is going to assist me on that. Anyway, thanks for that. Look forward to giving you some other cool stuff, and appreciate all the support. I want to show you the finished product you're going to get. You're going to get a book, and every one but 10 covers will be signed in red. You're going to get the sequential number on it down here, and you're going to get the final one. You're going to get a coupon certificate that basically says if you want to get it graded from the people at CGC, you can take the book, send it in with this. It means we've authenticated it. I've had a couple witnesses here with me all day today, and you're going to get this sent to you. Most of you will get it sent to you individually, depending on whether you're international or not. That's it. But there's what we're going to do it. Bagged and board, signed, numbered, sequential, bagged, board, certificate, all of it to you as your contribution to making this book an historic sort of launch. Appreciate it all. Hope you guys enjoy, and we can do it again.
For doing that video, but also coming to the Diamond Comics distribution offices and doing the signing. That's actually pretty cool. As you mentioned, this was a 1 in 250 variant. So if your local comic shop ordered one, you might want to jump at it now and let them know what the deal is, and let them know that you want one, because they're going to go fast. Let me tell you. And Mia, have you ever? I know you've done signatures before. Have you ever signed 1,697?
No, I was looking at that, and that was insane. Like,
Right.
okay, I have so many questions. Like, how many pens did they go through?
Yeah, right.
How long did that take? Like, what happens if he screws up? Like, what if you like accidentally write your name wrong? Like, do they have extras just in case?
Right. Yeah.
And like, if all of them but 10 were signed in red, what color were the other 10?
Right.
I have so many questions. I was like thinking of all.
I can answer that because I was
Okay. No, Johnny, production manager Johnny Rose on the Wheels of Steel.
also 5 in blue and 5 in green.
Oh.
So there are just 10 that are out there that aren't signed in the regular red that the other amount was signed in.
Oh,
Dun,
okay.
dun, dun.
Wow, controversy.
That's really cool.
It is cool. Like, I've always been kind of like just kind of amazed at just celebrities just sitting there for hours and signing stuff. Especially like, you hear about like, I mean, there was maybe some sketchiness involved, but like, Stan Lee, like, at age like 90, like sitting there and just signing like thousands of these things all day. It's just like crazy. I don't even know if I would have the patience to even do that, to be honest. So
I just hope that like afterwards he got like a nice like hand massage, like go somewhere, get a manicure,
something,
get one of those like lotion massages, like something.
Right. I mean,
So many.
You make a great point. Like, he's an artist, and on top of that, like, he's signed all these things. I mean, that's like carpal tunnel, like heaven. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the place that those type of things start. So Yeah,
I'm just
wow.
dreading the like actually making a mistake because that's me.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'd be like, what if you accidentally wrote the same number twice?
Right,
Like, there's
right.
got to be extras just in case.
Just in
right?
case. There has to be,
You would
just to make sure they
hope.
got it right. Yeah. Or
Or
maybe
would you be
Todd.
cool with
Or
having a messed up one?
Oh, it'd
Because
be
it'd be
original.
cool.
It'd
Yeah.
be unique. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, who knows? I feel like maybe McFarlane's maybe just that much a professional that he just never makes a mistake. How about that?
Okay, thanks for the pressure, Troy. Be like Todd McFarlane. Never
Be like
make
Todd
mistakes.
McFarlane, Mia.
Just don't ever make mistakes.
There you go.
Jeez.
Don't ever make mistakes. That's not hard to do at all. Let's talk about What If a little bit because we didn't get a really chance to get to talk about this on last week's show. So, have you seen at least the first episode of What If?
I
Mia?
did. I watched the first one. That was
Oh
good.
yeah. What did you think?
was-
You thought it was good.
I loved it. I loved it because it does answer those questions. Because I think anytime you're watching, a comic or any like something related movie or even reading it, you're like, what if something else had happened, or could something have changed the outcome? And I think this is a great way of kind of addressing that. It's like Flashpoint. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like you're going back and saying, all right, well, like Flashpoint Batman, what if, the other people had died, his parents had survived. And so you kind of get this where it's like, what if, I don't know, there's so many possibilities. I'm
There
excited
are.
to see where they go with
Yeah,
this.
and I think that's I think it's a testament to two things actually. I think it's a testament to just like the types of stories that the MCU has been telling, right? Like they're able to kind of like unpack these in different ways and kind of give fans who may not have even like necessarily needed closure on certain subjects, but get a different type of closure on a certain like particular storyline. But on top of that, man, I think it's just really cool that like even as a comic book fan and a movie fan, like you're both kind of speaking the same language here because What If was very much Marvel's comic book thing. It was like this weird thing that they did with their comics where they just asked this question. You would get a nice little one shot, you know what I mean? And it would be cool. And like you would see like an alternate version of everything, like, some of your favorite stories. And now the movie audience and the TV audience gets to have that experience too, which I also think is kind of neat. It's just interesting to kind of see that language, the comic book nerd language kind of like permeate mainstream, in some way.
Yeah.
I think that's actually kind of neat. Me
And I
personally,
love
like
that this was a great one to start with.
yeah,
too.
it was. Yeah, I'm always a fan of Agent Carter. Always love Agent Carter. I haven't seen the new one with T'Challa and the Guardians yet. I'll probably watch that later. But yeah, I've always been a fan of Agent Carter. So I watched both seasons happily, the TV show. So it's always cool to see her kind of come back and get some more shine. So okay, let's jump over to a trailer real quick. Let's talk about Gen Hunter, which is actually from Black Box.
You didn't send the trailer.
Oh, you don't have the trailer. Well, that's a problem.
You can still talk about it though.
I can still talk about it. Well, you know what? I will talk
You have
about
to redo it. You have to
have
like
to
recreate
redo the
it
entire
from
trailer.
start. All right, we're gonna get our popcorn.
Yeah, there
Let's
you
get
go.
All right, go.
So
Troy.
the way it starts is no, I'm just kidding. I actually will talk about Gen Hunter a little bit later because we also did an interview for that. But I'm gonna apologize to Black Box Comics. Maybe we could put it on next week's show if there's not a spot for it already. And actually, number 2 comes out next week, so we'll do that. But I will talk about it a little bit later. So let's just jump over to Social Swamp. How about that? You ready, Mia?
I'm ready.
All right, Social Swamp. That is an easy one. We'll just, we're just gonna have fun with this one. So let's go, Social Swamp.
So this week we got away from like the controversial questions that we usually get thanks to Troy, which are always fun, but man,
They can go left quick. They go left quick.
we decided to stick with the good vibes of Saturday's free
Yeah.
comic book day event by having people post their events pics in the comments. And so here are some of the responses that we got from Facebook and Instagram, starting with James Young. Good selection at Madness Games and Comics in Plano, Texas. Wow, look at that setup. And then Captain Carter reporting in from Dream Strands Comic in Seattle, Washington, which, by the way, is my local shop, actually.
All
So I'm
right.
very excited to see that they got represented on this. And then Adriana saying, comics and love from the shop kitty from Matt's Cavalcade of Comics in Corvallis, Oregon. That's a lot of C's. And then Susie sending in Jerseyville Public Library participated. Our patrons loved our free comic book day fest we hosted. Cosplay, Smash Bros, face painting, QB crafts, cookie decorating, a photo booth with props, and of course free comic books. So much fun. Had well over 100 attend. Great for us post-pandemic. Thanks Free Comic Book Day for partnering with our library.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Manuel finally meeting Chris Claremont at Carol and John's comic book shop in Ohio.
Oh, cool.
Jacob, Viking Loki variant at the Comic Signal. That's really cool. Tony sending in, she was excited. She got every book she wanted, plus she scored the new Pokemon cards at Most Excellent Comics and Gaming. Scott sent in Time Wars Comics in Boulder, Colorado. That's a fun group of guys. I love seeing all those. Those are so great.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you nailed it on the head. Like, I mean, I will take full blame for any controversy that happens during the Social Swamp segments on these shows. Or for the Social Swamp segment on these shows.
Love
but
it,
you know
though.
what?
It's great. You have great questions.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just want to engage the fans, see how it goes. But like, especially off of Free Comic Book Day, it seemed necessary to kind of come off the good vibes. And just, in general, like, the internet can be kind of an interesting place in general. So let's just maintain the good vibes with some Free Comic Book Day, from Free Comic Book Day goodness.
Well, it's always cool to see what other shops are doing, because so many do so many different things. Like some have cosplay contests, cookies. I haven't seen where do I get the cookie one? I need to find the cookie place. Because I haven't found with cookies yet.
No, I respect that. Like, no, that's me just focused on the cookies.
Yeah, I was like, wait, comics and cookies, yes.
I mean, that's a good combination. I think I'm with that.
Hey,
I was gonna
shops.
Get on it, guys. Get on it. I'm actually going to bring Johnny in because he got to kind of have a early morning, firsthand experience of Free Comic Book Day. Like, you got up at the crack of dawn almost, like, to make this happen. Like, can you tell us about your Free Comic Book Day, Johnny?
Well, I have to give a shout out to Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland, because that's where I spent my Free Comic Book Day. And I actually went down there. Let me turn the volume down on this. I'm actually trying to share this screen. Give me 1 second. Sorry, this is fascinating streaming. I know everyone, but here, let me just share.
Riveting.
Yes. So there we go. So this is Free Comic Book Day on Saturday at Third Eye Comics in Annapolis, Maryland. I literally contacted Steve, the owner, as I'm in the car driving down there, and it's like, "Hey, do you mind if I stream at your store?" This is completely last minute. So what you're seeing right now is basically the moment that they opened the doors. They had a huge crowd that pretty much went around the corner and then wrapped around the parking lot.
All right.
So,
wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
The first people there in line said they got there at 3 a.m.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Is this the front parking lot? Or is
this is the back parking lot?
The back parking lot. Okay, got you.
Wow. That's like Black Friday crowds. At
it is,
3 a.m. Wow.
Right.
Good for them.
All right, there you go.
We here at Diamond obviously don't like to show favoritism. It's just me personally. This is the shop that I have an affinity for personally, because and I've said this numerous times on the show before that they got me back into comics. In fact, Tormer, the guy right there in the front leading everyone in line, he's the one that like I will always go to at that store and just like say, hey, what's good? What do you recommend? So, but yeah, I started streaming about 8:30 in the morning. I got there a little bit early just to make sure I could find parking. Stream for about an hour. So if you want to see the video, you can go over and see this on Free Comic Book Day's Facebook page.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But let's talk about the goodies, though.
Yeah. What'd you get, Johnny? What'd you get?
So I picked up a little bit of everything. I got Archie. I got, for the kids, Smurfs Tales. I got We Live. I got Lady Mechanica. We got Zorro.
Nice.
Red Room.
Nice.
Enter the House of Slaughter. Avengers. Spider-Man and Venom. The Boys. Oops, they're falling all over the place.
Nice.
Star Wars, The High Republic, and Vampirella.
All right, cool.
But one of the things I said on the stream is that the great thing about Free Comic Book Day is not only does it get people to like go into a local comic shop to try something new, but I mean, well, basically, yeah, that's it. You get to not just get the free comics, but it's to turn you on to something new. So after I got the free comics, I went and did some other shopping around the store. So I want to show what I got there as well. So
can I just say real quick? I saw a joke actually in a Facebook group that I joined that like free comic book day always cost me $125.
How did you know how much I spent?
Oh, is it really? That's exactly
Seriously,
what
it was like right around $125. Yes. I'm like, oh my God. Troy, what's
I mean, look, I think that's a good thing, me personally. So
I mean, we're all about supporting your friendly local comic shop. Like, go out there,
Yeah.
don't just go on free comic book day. Go like every day of the year.
right, yeah,
Oh, that might be a little make sense. Go once a week.
go once a week at least.
At least. But yeah, let me just go over the goods that I got. So as a Disney fan, and then specifically a fan of the Journey into Imagination attraction at Epcot, I couldn't pass up Figment.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
cute.
This goes
Yeah.
into like the backstory of Dreamfinder and everyone's favorite purple dragon Figment from Epcot. So I picked that up.
Okay.
The next three are because of you, Troy, because these are all books that you recommended, and Torma also from Third Eye recommended these to me. These have been out for a while, but it's been a while and I've been meaning to pick this up. So I picked up Crossover.
Oh, nice, cool. Yeah,
Crossover is, I'm reading this now. This is such a great book. This is like
Yeah.
such a love letter to comics.
it really is, and it's
So-
going to go places that are kind of unexpected, which is actually kind of cool.
So I'm excited about that. I also picked up Once and Future
Okay, nice.
from Boom
Awesome.
Studios, another recommendation of yours from like some of the past catalog videos we've done.
Mhm.
I also picked up Something's Killing the Children.
Yes.
All right, yeah.
So
Is
I got,
that a favorite of yours, Mia?
Well, I've heard such good things about it, and it's one that I've been dying to read. So
I just realized something.
What's that? Did you buy? That might be. I guess the free comic book day might be the first issue,
Oh, okay. All right.
potentially. Well, actually, no. Is that the House of Slaughter book? Is that what the free comic book day book is?
Yeah.
Enter the House of Slaughter. So actually, that might be something completely different.
It
Actually.
might be like
a
a book zero.
Might
Yeah.
be a side story. Why am I all blurry?
I don't know, Johnny. Why are you all blurry?
There we go. I'm just like Bigfoot. He's just naturally blurry.
Just
The last two I got. This was I struck my eyes. I was checking out in the line. Marvel Myths and Legends. The epic origins of Thor, the Eternals, Black Panther, and the Marvel Universe. So this isn't really focused so much on the superheroes so much. It takes more of like a mythic approach to it. The back says, explore the fabled myths and epic legends of the vast and vibrant Marvel Universe. So I'm only a couple pages into this, but it's really fascinating. It basically does like a chronological timeline of events in the Marvel Universe on a more grand, like epic scale. It talks about the Asgardians, the Celestials. Let's see here. Namor, Doctor Strange, a lot of really cool stuff. And I just had to pick it up also because the art on this is just amazing.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
really
that.
cool.
And last but most definitely not least, have you ever had something in your life that you just didn't know existed, and then you're like, why has this been missing in my life all these years?
Yeah, absolutely. Jerk chicken pizza.
Black and white and weird. It is
Weird all over.
black and white photographs taken by Jim Bermuda Schwartz, Weird Al's drummer since the 80s.
Oh wow.
Black and white photography of the early days of Weird Al Yankovic
Weird Al
in
Yankovic.
his career.
Huh.
It's
That's hilarious.
From the filming of some of his early music videos, filming of Living with a Hernia, the spoof of James Brown's Living in America. So I saw this on their Third Eye social media. I'm like, I need this in my life. So
I'm dead.
Monkey Jeebus said he did get a lightsaber lamp for $20. There you go.
What?
And you know what? That wouldn't have been in
Nice.
your life if you hadn't gone to free comic book day. So
what
there you
else?
go.
Let's check on some of the Figment. I love, man. Who doesn't?
There you go. I actually had never heard of it until today. So I don't know if that counts as not loving it. It's just blissful ignorance.
Yeah, that's okay. But yes, that was in a nutshell my experience with Free Comic Book Day. It was great. I want to say thank you again to the crew and staff at Third Eye Comics.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just say like I said, we're not just about sponsoring or focusing on just Third Eye. The whole time during the stream, I was asking people to shout out their local comic shop. I had people watching from the Philippines. I had people watching from the UK. There were people out there watching on their
Awesome.
phones, like standing in line, waiting for their shop to open. So all in all, it was a great experience. And I think next year, Troy, I'm going to drop this on you right now.
Mhm.
My idea is to do a live stream through this where we have different comic shops from across the U.S. dialing in
Okay.
and spotlighting, like showing the crowds,
That would be interesting. Yeah.
showing like, here's the festivities, here's what we're doing. We're doing cosplay contests. We're doing this. We're doing that. This is what we have on sale. So ideas for
Okay.
next year.
Yeah.
that actually would be cool. Yeah, like I don't know if there's a comic shop in the chat right now, but if you're interested in that, let us know. Say something, man. That's
Yeah.
actually kind of neat. I love that idea.
We've
Like,
got a year to plan, so it's okay.
yeah, it's a global event. We can make it happen. I
It
love
is.
that.
Like we had a lot of viewership. It's like one of the highest viewed videos that we've done on Facebook in a long time, and just trying to like show off the positivity of your friendly local comic shop. It was a blast. So
Yeah. Actually, I love that idea. See, now I'm all excited. That's cool. So, actually, speaking of comic shops, we're actually almost at the end of the show, and we don't have a weekly poll this week. So, Mia, do you want to do the honors for comic shop shout out this week?
Yeah. We're going to give our comic book shout out. Comes from Cheyenne saying Key Elements Comics. Support your local comic shop.
Love it. So we're going to close out with a few images of Key Elements Comics. But before we do that, like, let's just pat ourselves on the back real quick. How about that? You got something going on right now that's actually pretty cool. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, well, first off, if you guys have a local comic shop that you want to see us give a shout out to, find us where you can on social media, tag your shop, and use the hashtag support your local LCS, your local comic shop, so that way we can feature them on the show and give them a little shout out that they're awesome.
Thank you, Mia, for paying attention.
No problem.
For knowing where we are in the show. Thank you very much, Mia. Okay, so you do have something going on that's kind of cool.
I
You wanna tell
do.
people?
So I am doing a Indiegogo campaign with Dynamite Comics. They are doing a reprint of Vampirella magazine number 67, which was the first time a cosplay was featured on the cover. It was Barbara Lee, who was actually supposed to be the star of the Vampirella movie back in the 70s, and then the movie never happened. So they put her on the cover of Vampirella magazine. So they're doing a reprint of it, and I got to be in the cover, which is really cool. It's 64 pages. There's a bunch of Vampirella stories in there, kind of like a photo history of Vampirella cosplay through the time, and just a lot of other cool, stuff compiled into one Vampirella compendium. So
Nice.
there's different covers. There's like the main one. There's like a noir black and white one, and like the virgin cover. So yeah, that's going on. We're about halfway through that campaign. So yay!
All right, yeah. No, like throw some money at it, guys. Like, yes, of course, support your local comic shop, but you know what? I guarantee you that some local comic shops are actually already putting money towards this, and they are going to actually have this on the shelf. So
Yes, because there
I
is
think
a
it's a
retailer
win-win.
option.
yeah, well, see, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, there's a retailer. If you are a comic shop and you want to have this in your store, since you can only get it through the Indiegogo, you'd have an exclusive.
There you go.
There is a retailer option on the Indiegogo, so that way you can have it in your store and on your shelves.
There you go. All right. See, there you go. We didn't scurry too far away from our goals. Like, it's right there.
Yeah.
All right. So I do want to also pat myself on the back because I did 2 interviews this week that I thought you guys should know about. One of them is with Rob Williams, who's actually the writer of Hershey Disease. So if you went to Free Comic Book Day this weekend and you picked up the 2000 AD book, more than likely you found a short story from Hershey Disease by Rob Williams. Of course, this is Judge Hershey from the Judge Dredd mythos, right? She's been a longstanding character since the 70s, and actually outranks Judge Dredd himself, right? She's the one that actually tells Dredd what to do. But they gave her this cool little solo adventure. And so I asked Rob Williams, the writer of Hershey Disease, to give me his top 5 favorite Judge Hershey moments. And so you get like this little history lesson of the character. And it's like pretty compact. Of course, it's subjective because it's his. But I mean, it's right from the source, right? The guy who wrote the Judge Hershey comic book. So definitely check that out. That's on PREVIEWSworld.com right now. Also wanted to point out Gen Hunter, which I totally botched earlier today by not putting the trailer, giving Johnny the trailer, but we'll try again next week. But Gen Hunter is a new book from Black Box Comics. Issue 1 came out last week, and I believe issue 2 is actually in another week from now. But it's actually a fantasy book from Black Box Comics. And if you're into if you're into kind of like anime, but also maybe even like some of the Bollywood stuff, I kind of feel like this is right up your alley. Like, it's got some really cool anime inspired artwork, and it promises to be about sword and sorcery magic and mayhem. The pitch actually goes that the cosmos is in chaos, which I think is actually pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check out that interview because you can kind of get on the ground for this new series from Black Box, and I'll have some more stuff about it next week. So definitely check that out. That's on PREVIEWSworld.com right now. Outside of that, that's it for this week's show. I'm gonna remind you guys to like. We did, hey, we breezed through this. I'm gonna remind you guys to like, follow, and subscribe at Previews World. I'm at Previews World, and Ashton's at Free Comic Book Day. And Mia, where can people find you?
You can find me pretty much on all social media at Anamia Official. And then, yeah, just the Indiegogo. Go there. That's my big thing.
There you go. You guys have your marching orders. And yeah, that's it for Previews World Weekly, guys. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I am your guest co-host, Anamia.
All right. And we will catch you guys at the Spinner Rack. See you next week.
Don't forget that you can catch Previews World Weekly streaming live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific at Previews World on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.